Hey everyone, day 37. Sorry, no video again yesterday. So I'm here in Boston with my cousin Kevin. Staying with a lot of cousins recently. Thanks, Kevin, by the way, for letting me crash here last night. He also let me have an interview last night, which was very interesting. I had this interview with this dude. The interesting part was we spent about the first 20 minutes talking about abortion. I've never spent that long on abortion, but this guy seemed like I could talk to him a little bit. So I kind of wanted to get in there and figure out what's up with the pro-life side and sort of where their motivation comes from. Especially because I'm so skeptical about how so many of the pro-lifers, at least the really active and adamant and vocal pro-lifers, seem to be men. That's I'm a little suspicious about the motivation there. So I asked him that exact question, like, what's up with all the men being pro-life? Like, isn't that like, is there some sort of like, I'm scared of women, I got to put them down kind of thing? So he explained that when he dates a woman, he feels very protective of her. Like he wants to protect her against harm, from harm. And he said he feels the same way about the, okay, now the vocabulary I'm going to use is his side's vocabulary. He feels very protective about the unborn child. So that's why he says there may be so many men who are pro-life. Now, I may disagree with being pro-life or pro-choice. Like I may disagree with his stance. But that was an eye-opener to me. I had always assumed that the motivation was more nefarious than that. And I may be right. There may be many men who do have that kind of need to control women thing. But there's at least one dude, the dude I talked to last night, who has a different sort of perception, a different feeling, a different motivation, a different value, different virtue, a virtue. You know, I'd never thought that there was like a virtue underneath that, and there I found one. Now again, it's not everyone, and you might not even be in the majority, but that exists is important, I think, because I don't live in the world, or I didn't live in the world where that existed. I lived in a world where men are pro-life because they want to know the right answer and they want to be dominating and they're scared of women. So now I live in the world called men who are pro-life have varying impulses and varying degrees of motivation behind being pro-life. He also had a personal experience. He and his wife, or his ex-wife now, had a baby that was born without a skull, and the doctors, encouraged them to abort the child, or the fetus. Again, I'm just going to use his language: abort the child. So but he and his wife were like, no, we're going to it's a gift from God, and we're going to carry it to term. So she gave birth to this baby, and he lived, I think, I remember the number 14. It was either 14 seconds or 14 minutes. But it lived for a very short period of time after it was born. But he at least, he held it in his arms, and they named him Elijah. And so, I kind of made the point during the discussion that, that could be your decision, but someone else may not have that same decision. I forget what he said in response to that. It was like, if there's he would like a politician to have the same views as he does. And I guess that still didn't really answer my question. But anyway, at least he had, I could see, it just came from his experience, some of his views. I mean, he was raised conservative Christian, so I think his views started there. But then he had this experience with this, with Elijah. So this is interesting, just interesting. So I hesitated even to bring that up in this update because I know the abortion issue and women's reproductive rights is such a hot button issue. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings or tread on any toes or say anything that might make you angry. But more and more I've been realizing that the purpose of this documentary is kind of to step on toes and to provoke a little thought and to, I'll put it this way. When you're in a war, you can't like worry about the other side's feelings. It's kill or be killed, kind of. But politics isn't a war, and it exists like one, and I aim to change that. You know, you can't look at the other side and worry about his feelings, but I am arguing that we can, we should, and we'd be better off for it. So that's what I have to say about that. All right, so I'm headed to East Hampton, where I got two uncles I'm going to go visit, my Uncle Paul and my Uncle Robbie. And oh, by the way, we're not Hampton people. My mother's father owned a summer camp there, and my father's parents had a house there. But we're not like Hamptonites. I don't know why I feel the need to explain that, but anyway, so my father's Kevin is as a cousin on my father's side, and I remember this being somewhere. I can't remember where this was. It may have been at the East Hampton house where my father's the house that my father's parents owned, but I'm not sure. But that's bringing back some crazy memories. So I'm going to head across the ferry and go into Long Island and go visit my uncles. I'm really excited. I haven't been to East Hampton, and I don't think I've been to East Hampton since I drove through on my way out to California when I moved out there in 1998. So that would be like 16 years ago. So I'm pretty excited to go check it out. All right, I'll be in New York City on Thursday through like Monday. So if you got people in New York City you want me to talk to, I would love that. I've got like 3 or 4 sort of possibilities lined up, but I could use another 2 or 3 if you got anyone interesting, or even not interesting. Boring people accepted too. All right, I will talk to you soon. I hope you're doing well, and yeah, I'll do my best to get an update every day from now on. Who knows? Maybe I'm overloading you, but I feel like the final week should get an update. They're kind of tough to do sometimes, you know. They take some thought, and this version is like, I don't know, it's like my 6th or 7th try, you know. Every time I talk, I sort of, but it's good because I kind of refine and understand a little bit more what I want to say, but it's work, man, I tell you. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye.